Alright, design students, in this video we're going to look at adding a sort of fake faux shadow to our burger. Now in some previous assignments we've done shadows with like a hard light where you would copy the whole object, combine it, make it all black, and then flip it upside down by taking the whole thing and then flip it upside down and making it sort of like a literal shadow. But we're going to use a shortcut on this today that sort of emulates the soft shadow advertising food look. We're going to do it using a circle. So I'm going to make a big circle here. And what I want to do is fill this circle with a radial gradient. And I'm going to swap it here so that the black is on the inside and the white is on the outside. And what I want is to click the white here, and I want to take this A, which stands for alpha, which basically means see-throughness, and I want to take it down to 0. So that what's actually happening is it's going from solid black to fading out into nothingness, not just white, but see-through white. So if I were to move this, you'll see the way it sort of fades over the top there. Now, I usually grab here and also move the black bit a little bit more to the right so that it fades differently. You can also click and sort of stretch so the fade is a little more subtle, and play with this sort of edge. And we'll see how that results in a minute. But like we did with our pickles or with our tomato, we're going to squish this to make it sort of look like it's going off into the distance. And I'm just going to put it underneath and try to line up sort of this nice fuzzy bit with where the edge of the burger is. And then I'm going to drag it to the very bottom, beneath bottom bun. I'm going to call this shadow. Now, looking at it here, this is a little too hard. So I'm going to come open it up, and I'm going to drag this guy just a little bit this way. And again, it gives me that sort of like nice, soft, fade-out shadow there. And it reinforces this idea that our light is over here and that our dark is over here. You want the shadow to come out on whichever side is the darker side of the bun. So here we have all the different pieces of our burger. And I'm going to select all of them except the shadow, and I'm going to do one more group and call this whole thing like finished burger. So here's our finished burger, and here's our shadow. And we're going to give it a nice plate to sort of sit on. But first, I'm just going to shrink it down so it doesn't take up my whole page. Because eventually, this guy is going to, we're going to be putting text and stuff in here. Now, you may, when you resize, like I just here did, you may notice that your mustard and ketchup, the width doesn't resize or scale correctly when you sort of shrink it down, so you might have to fix that. It is possible when scaling to turn that on, but it's easier just if you only have a few things to just fix those few things. So I'm going to make a fancy plate. I'm going to do it with another big circle. And I'm going to Control-C, Control-V to make a copy, and just hold Shift and Alt to sort of shrink inside another circle. I'm going to do it again, shrink it just a little bit more. And what I have here now are some like overlapping circles. I'm going to start, maybe my plate here is sort of a light blue, and maybe this inside one is also the light blue, but we'll leave this like white ring. And then maybe I'll add some borders here. I don't want pure black, but maybe like a gray. And you can design your own plate just as easily as I can. Just adding a little bit of edge here, another border this way, and I'm going to copy that same color. Eyedropper is your friend. Make this border thicker, but I kind of want it to be on the outside. There we go. Something like this could be a fine plate, doesn't have to be super fancy. I'm going to copy the outside circle, copy paste, take the back one, and just do that same trick that we've done with all the other 3D circles. I'm going to move it down and to the right. and then choose sort of a darker color to give myself that shadow edge. This whole thing gets selected, grouped, and becomes plate. Let me close burger up here. Plate goes behind shadow. And I'm going to squish it, just like we've done previously. Now I have a burger and a plate. Again, we shrunk, and maybe my edges here don't look great, so I'm going to hit undo, Control-Z a couple times. And with these objects here, I'm going to right-click and vectorize the border. And vectorize the border. And that messed up my colors a little bit because it made each of these a shape, so they're hollow now on the inside. So I'm missing sort of this white color that I had. So maybe I'm going to make another circle in the center. I'm going to take it out here and make this guy white. And I'm going to try to order it in the right order that I want it to be. That way when I resize, it's going to hold the edges at the right size. Let me just put this there. Eyedropper the blue. Put this guy behind. Oh, he's up there. Come down here, please. There we go, something like that. Not 100% perfect, but a little better. And now when I squish, my edges now look like they're going 3D a little bit better. So that's good. Okay, move it up here behind my shadow. Looks great. In the next video, we're going to look at how to make something else to go on the plate here, sort of an additional food item of your own design.